Hello, survivors. Welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Geoffrey Card, and we are here to talk about Update 25.2. It's been out for a couple of weeks, and it was actually meant to be kind of a smaller update, but the team crammed so many things into it that I actually had to invite 3 guests here on the stream in order to explain it all. Let's start by introducing Eric Anderson. He was the lead of the Plague Territory and Outpost team. Hello, Eric. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing all right. It's good to be back.
We've had him on the stream many times, and he's always got good stuff to say, so we're happy to talk to him. We've also got our UX lead, Chris Havranek, here.
Hey, I'm pretty sure this is my second time, but yeah.
I think that sounds about right. Chris is actually going to be my multiplayer partner in the game, so we're going to try to get into some trouble, and he's going to try to keep me alive. We'll see how well either of us does with that process. And finally, we've got our bug witch, Zoe McClatchey here. Hello, Zoe.
Hi.
So a lot of you know Zoe because she's been on the stream before. She's an engineer, and she was deeply instrumental in not only creating the 25.2 update, but also cleaning up after it, after we ran into some problems there. So we've got this whole team of people here to join us, and Chris and I are set up in the game live. So let's switch over to this view so that we can get started. So before Chris and I start going off on an adventure, we've got probably one big thing to talk about. So actually, let me quickly, I'll take the focus here so we can talk about something. Okay, so we should talk about the most famous and most important feature that was added in Update 25.2, which of course is the supply locker crash. Those of you who have been watching the stream religiously would know that last 2 weeks ago, Joe and Brant ran into this crash 4 times on the air, and it was kind of embarrassing. But what that illustrates for you is the fact that, we had this supply locker crash, but we actually had no idea what a serious problem it was until after that stream. The issue is that whenever we've got a crash in the game, we actually rely pretty heavily on a crash reporting system called Rollbar, that every time the game crashes, it packages up a report and sends it to us. So if there's a single crash that's been happening a lot, we usually get a report that lots and lots of players are experiencing it. And that gives us a chance to react to it, to immediately devote a bunch of resources to trying to solve it and getting a hotfix out fast. The problem is the supply locker crash was not issuing any reports to Rollbar. And so we didn't actually realize how big a problem it was until we really started experiencing the cavalcade of reports from players saying this was happening, and until we actually experienced it ourselves several times on the air on our stream. So at that point, we knew it was a really big, important problem. And what was happening was players were opening up their supply locker, and they were navigating around, doing normal stuff that you usually do, and at some point, they would hit a certain spot in their inventory, and the game would freeze, the game would die, and they would lose everything. But we did not lose everything. I mean, they would keep all of their stuff. Their save game was not corrupted. Sorry, they would lose the active gameplay they were right in the middle of. And that wasn't very good. So, but it was a problem because we weren't getting any crash reports. We didn't know what was causing it. And so we had a couple of heroes from the Plague Territory and Outpost team jump into the breach to try to figure it out. And that included Zoe McClatchey. Zoe, it was you and Matea, right, that started trying to figure this out from scratch?
Right. About the same time that our test team, Joe Swarner, a couple others, started reporting that this was going on, Matea and I started spending a lot of time trying to figure it out, talking in back channels, running tests, looking at Rollbar. As mentioned, it wasn't producing any proper crash results. So at first we thought maybe it was a couple of smaller crashes that were coming up and producing a few results. But somewhere along the line, Matea ran into a situation where the inventory, the button prompt helper system was generating a crash, and she managed to capture it in her window. And from there, it was a relatively fast process to figure out that the problem was caused by too many icons on the screen, and figure out that the reason it wasn't reporting to Rollbar is because those icons were overflowing a low-level C primitive that the original programmer had filled with button prompts and writing to random areas of memory and basically just hard crashing the game without a chance to even call our rollbar reporting system.
So one of the problems with developing a game for as long as we've been developing this one is that these systems pass from hand to hand to hand to hand to hand. And so, you and Matea were like the 5th and 6th or 7th and 8th or 12th and 13th programmer that were working in this area. And so you had to go, delve back and figure out what was going on that was probably this crash probably came from something that was implemented like 4 years ago, as far as we can tell.
There were definitely some interesting to-dos left in the code.
So basically the crash was caused by any weapon that had 8 prompts. When you on this utility bar here, when you highlighted it, like this weapon right here, this one only has 7 because it's a lever action rifle. It never needs to be repaired, and so it doesn't have a repair prompt. But my BIR over here does have a repair prompt, and so if you had highlighted just any cheap crap weapon you had just barely picked up, maybe one that didn't have an attachment on it, maybe one that couldn't be repaired, you would never have this crash. But as soon as you did hit one of those weapons, which a lot of our long-term players had, suddenly you would start hitting the crash. And so this illustrates. Oh yeah, Zoe.
Yeah, you had to be on the weapon comparison page as well, because there was a final possible prompt that could be added to the list after we'd already created our list of up to 8. Because the original programmer wasn't stupid by any means. They capped the number of prompts that you could have on the screen, but then it got sent back to this other region that didn't know about the original cap. And that one page, if you had a weapon with enough modifiers, added a 9th one and killed it.
Gotcha. Okay, well that does make a lot of sense. And so part of the problem was the fact that, when we're just testing the game internally, a lot of the time we've cheated ourselves brand new weapons that are not damaged, or we haven't bothered to attach mods to them, that sort of thing. And so a lot of our test cases just would never have turned up this crash. But players who've been playing the game for a really long time, nearly all of them were vulnerable to this crash because they did have favorite weapons they'd been using a lot that they'd attached favorite mods to, that they were, all of the conditions were right in a live game. And so the thing that we learned from this was that we were not using our public test realm enough. So we had already, developed the public test realm. We've got this sort of beta environment where we can ship up updates to the game before they're ready for prime time, and let a dedicated group of players who volunteered play the game and figure out what's going on in there, find out if there's any problems or balance issues that we need to worry about. But because this was considered a minor hotfix, we didn't bother to put it in the public test realm first, and that was our mistake. We would have caught this problem immediately if we had put it in the public test realm. And so that led, so Patrick, the product director of the team, he's basically decided that all of our future updates are going to go to the public test realm first, because we don't want to get into this situation again where we've got a mysterious bug that only shows up in the player environment that we don't know about it until we've gone live to everyone. So you can look forward to that in the future. If you play the game on Steam and you have access to the public test realm, we're going to keep involving you in the process of preparing our updates to be ready for everyone else to enjoy them without problems like the supply locker crash. So thank you, Zoe, and I hope that Matea is watching, because I want to give her a big thank you too for solving this problem so quickly. We did put our fix, update 25.3, into the public test realm first, so that we could spend a day with it, making sure we didn't make things worse, and then it went live. So we've set a precedent there, and we're going to keep sticking to that precedent. So join the public test realm. We'd love to have your help solving these problems. So that out of the way, we should actually look at some of the things that were intentionally added to update 25.2. And so let's do a little introduction to where we are right now. So I have just moved my community to Providence Ridge. I actually was just in Providence Ridge, but I used the difficulty system to reset my map and bring me back to Providence Ridge. And so I'm in a lethal zone map. You can see here that I've got, my action and community set down to green. Actually, I should... Oh, right. I can't change this because I'm in multiplayer right now. Whoops. Okay, we're going to be playing in the green zone, apparently. Oh. I meant to do that before we started the stream, but I completely forgot. Of course, I guess we've got a little bit of time. I could always boot Chris for just a second and switch it to Nightmare Combat. No one wants to watch us play green zone. That's ridiculous. Chris, I'm so sorry.
Bye.
Oh, you are kicked. You're completely kicked. Okay, so real quick, I am going to change the difficulty because if we're going to be fighting some zombies, especially if we want to be fighting some blood screamers over the course of this, we're going to need to be in nightmare difficulty. So I'm going to get Chris back in the game. This is going to be fun, and then we're going to talk to Eric about some of the changes that we've made. We're going to do it live. Here we are. So let me quickly switch out here. I don't want to necessarily, show everybody my list of multiplayer friends. That wouldn't be very polite to my friends. So I'm just going to switch it over. I'm going to send an invite. Oh, interesting. I can't invite you to the game. Why? Oh, because I turned it off. Okay, I turned off multiplayer to boot you. Of course. That makes sense. Now, I'm going to invite you to the game again. Sorry, I've just got very specific things that I want to show. And, if I'm sitting here on green zone, that's not going to work. Okay, I have now sent an invite to Chris. He's going to be joining me again. That's going to be wonderful. Anyway, let's get back to what we were about to talk about. So, I just moved my community to Providence Ridge, and specifically to Lethal Providence Ridge. And that's for a reason, because I want to illustrate some of the changes that went into Update 25.2 with Eric Anderson here, who's the lead of that team. So you'll notice none of the plague hearts have been scouted yet. That's pretty normal for the lethal zone. But one thing that we did get really used to in the lethal zone for a while was when you would highlight any sort of really intensive location, you would see that there was... Oh, actually, I should hide Eric for just a second. You should see that there is, like 4 or 3 plague hearts covering every single site out here. That was normal. That was basically what everybody was used to, that if you're in the lethal zone, every site is going to be guarded by several plague hearts. But you'll notice that on this map, actually, as soon as I get out of the most tightly concentrated places, I'm seeing a lot of 1s. A lot of these sites, that one has 4, but a lot of these sites have 1s and 2s. Not nearly as many plague hearts are covering these outlying sites. And that was very intentional. And so, Eric, do you want to sort of talk through sort of the thinking that went into how we're sort of redistributing plague hearts on the map in the lethal zone these days?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned before the public test realm, which is kind of our open live running beta. And one of the great things was with 25 was that was kind of the first time we were using that, but we not only use it for like catching issues such as like crashes and bugs that were happening, but kind of just user experience issues and just getting general feedback about new features we're putting in the game. And so when we put in the plague territories, one of the kind of common bits of feedback we were getting is that the plague territories, especially on the higher difficulties like nightmare and lethal, there was a lot of overlap between the territories because there was a nightmare and lethal, there's so many plague hearts and the territory was really big, and so there just naturally ended up being a lot of overlap. So like to get any given like outpost or home site that you want to get, you'd have to like clear up to like sometimes like 7 like plague hearts. Like it was like 6 to 8 wasn't uncommon, which is really ridiculous. And so it's not a great experience to be like, I want to claim this outpost, but I have to kill like 7 plague hearts. That just feels like a lot. It's a lot. And so you want plague hearts to be something like when you take out a plague heart, it feels like you've achieved something. You want to get something out of that. So having too much overlap it's not a great experience because you're not really feeling like you're accomplishing a whole lot when you kill a plague heart then. So we definitely wanted to make it that each plague heart kind of had more of its own territory and not as much overlap, so that when you take out a plague heart, you're actually unlocking a decent amount of stuff, of new outposts and home sites and different sites you can secure and stuff like that. So basically kind of just responding to that feedback from the public test realm. We just wanted to make it so each territory didn't overlap as much and had their own territory. So we did a little bit to spread out the plague heart distribution a little bit. Previously, they could clump. I mean, basically right on top of each other. Like you could be, you have the little strip malls that are like 3 buildings right next to each other, and all 3 of those could have a plague heart. So we did a little work to try to spread it out a little bit more to give them a little more room. And the higher difficulties, as it scales up, the number of plague hearts, we actually shrink the size of the territory. So they can spread out more, but they cover less territory for each plague heart, so it just has less chance for them to overlap. So it still overall covers the same amount of territory on the map. Like there's still as much plague territory covering all the the same number of sites, but it's just less overlap overall. So each plague heart you take out should feel like you're achieving a little bit more. Like it should feel meaningful. Well, at least more than it did before. You can still definitely have overlap because, like, especially on lethal, there's a lot of plague hearts. So yeah, so we did some good work to try to kind of spread that out a little bit more and make it, yeah, each plague heart kind of have a little bit more of its own territory.
So one of the things that I want to do with my community right now is claim an outpost, probably one of these buildings down here. And so I'm going to come down here and try to scout out where the plague hearts actually are. And we've actually made some changes to the way that that works too, or kind of bringing it back a little bit to the way it used to work prior to update 25.
Yeah, one of the things, the way, and for those who don't know, and on Nightmare and Lethal, the plague hearts aren't automatically scouted at the beginning of the game like they are in other difficulties. And one of the things we did with when we enabled plague territories in CU25, we made it that when you enter a plague territory, we would automatically scout the plague heart that was creating the territory. Because internally, I think there's some thought that it would be weird to like be able to see a site that was in territory, but not like have an idea of what the territory, like where it was covering in general and what plague heart was generating it. But again, through the public test realm, we found that people did not think that was the case. They actually, like, especially Nightmare and Lethal, part of the challenge and the kind of the joy of that mode is hunting down the plague hearts and not knowing where they were. So having it automatically reveal the plague heart when you enter the territory was not what they wanted. And so we were hearing plenty of feedback around that. And so, we want to make sure that they are still getting the experience that they want to get out of those modes. And, if there's something that they really enjoy, we don't want to, take that away from them. So that was just again, responding to the player feedback, making sure that they're still getting the experience that they want.
Yes. So you can see that we entered this area, and we're driving through this plague territory long before we revealed these two plague hearts that were covering the area. I had to get really close to this site and this site before we could even tell, where the plague hearts were coming from.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, it's going back to kind of how scouting for plague hearts used to work, which is how it works for every site, basically, where it's just the normal scouting system. So you either have to go up into a survey, tower and survey them directly, or get close enough that the natural kind of passive scouting would add them to your map. So that's kind of more of that like actual hunt for a plague heart kind of gameplay that used to be in Nightmare and Lethal that players wanted to see come back.
Cool. I just realized that I completely forgot to bring any explosives with me, and I'm not going to bother. Chris and I are just going to have to do this in hard mode, because we are going to have to claim one of these plague hearts, destroy one of these plague hearts at some point. One other last bit I'd love to point out, though, is you'll notice these black sites that were already exhausted. Whoa, whoops. Chris, fight, Chris, fight! These black sites that were already looted long before I got there, it used to be that you would see the entire lethal map peppered with those. But now, oh my gosh, I can't even open the map for 2 seconds in Nightmare Combat difficulty. Thanks for watching my back there, Chris.
Tried.
Getting out there and stopping these zombies. Luckily, we've got a lot of cars, because this one might be on its last legs. But yeah, so do you want to talk a little bit about those pre-looted sites and how they work differently now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so on the harder difficulties, we pre-loot some sites, basically some sites that will have no loot, kind of simulate that other people have come through the territory and have pre-looted them. We were previously basically automatically revealing those at map generation time, so you could see beforehand all the sites that were pre-looted. And the thinking around that was that, like, we didn't want players to have to like go to a site to try to find something, then find out that it wasn't looted and feel like they wasted their time and like it was a wasted trip. But again, from a lot of player feedback, that especially, I mean, because this only happens on the harder difficulties, that people were saying that they much prefer the immersion of not knowing what sites were polluted and finding that just through natural gameplay, just like you would if you were actually in a zombie apocalypse. So yeah, again, just kind of responding to player feedback and that desire to not see those up front, and to like have it be discovering the map be a part of the gameplay. We just made it so we don't reveal those. So you just kind of have to naturally just find what sites have already been looted and which ones still have stuff to get.
So I got a little bit distracted by the fact that there's a feral out there. Oh
Yeah,
gosh,
Matt, you are.
Chris, let's climb a
You're
ladder.
in it.
Climb a ladder, quick.
Okay.
Let's go. Come on,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's go.
Too
Let's go. Well, thank you, Eric, for giving us that rundown on on everything that's going on. Chris and I are going to figure out how we're going to survive the next segment of this stream. But yeah, it's really great to know. I mean, particularly the degree to which your team was listening to feedback from players to sort of figure out what the best implementation of our highest difficulty level was going to be.
Yeah, I think the public test realm has been really great in that regard. Like, it really gives us like a kind of a nice through line just directly to our players, getting them, getting this stuff in their hands early and getting to hear like, these are especially it's the very engaged players, so we get to hear a lot of feedback. And especially like we had the in-game kind of survey where they can go and like actually do a survey and fill out thoughts about the game. And luckily, Chris was nice enough to go through that all and kind of distill the trends down to things that we're seeing a lot. And so that helped us really kind of find the kind of zeitgeist that was going on inside the beta and with all the stuff that was changed in CU25. So it was really great to have that. I'm glad we're continuing that going forward. I think it's going to be super helpful.
Yeah, very +1.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Chris, we've got Chris here. He is the other player who has been watching my back during the game, and I've been getting him to all kinds of trouble. He's been my passenger, and he's had to deal with whatever weird nonsense I decided to do while I was talking to Eric. But we've got some other stuff to talk with him about. So Chris and I are here looking to claim an outpost, but we've got a problem. There's 2 plague hearts in this neighborhood, and we're trying to figure out which plague hearts we actually have to kill in order to claim the outpost. And we're like, I think what my team really needs here is a fuel outpost, and so we want to grab this one right here, but it's really kind of hard to tell. Like, are both of these plague hearts claiming this fuel outpost, or is it just one of them? Chris, how do we do this?
So we added something new where when you hover a site, the plague hearts that are affecting that given site will pulse and be highlighted. So it's a lot easier to be able to identify, is it this 3 or is it this 4th one that's on the very edge that's affecting this specific site? I do know that we have a bug in and that's being addressed. So it should be out very shortly where actually if you're on this map right now, if you go over a couple of the sites, it doesn't pulse.
Oh, whoops.
But for a majority of the sites right now, they will pulse, or the plague hearts will pulse, I should say, that are affecting any given site. So that should hopefully help make it a little bit easier, especially on harder difficulties where you are having much more of that overlap.
Okay, so it sounds like if we want to claim this gas station, we're going to need to take out this plague heart in particular, but we can ignore the one that's just to the north of us over here. So that's going to be helpful. Before we head over there, though, let's try to take refuge in a nearby site here and see one of the other changes that we made to the UX. So let's have a look at our. I think our car was being swarmed by zombies last we saw it. Yeah. It looks like there's just one zombie there now. So do you think we can? Maybe we should head down there and
run for it.
Yeah, let's slide. Oh no, there's a million zombies. What the heck am I talking about? I just didn't see them. Okay.
Do I stay up here?
Stay up there. Why don't you actually?
Okay.
Why don't you jump down the other side and let's run for it?
Okay.
I think you can jump off that roof. If you can't, I'm also dragging the zombies with me, so you can probably catch up with me somehow or
right
another.
by you right now.
Okay, good. Okay, let's head for my marker. Head for my marker. Wait, where is my marker? It's over that direction. Oh, it's just up these rocks. Whatever. It'll be fine. We're just going to run. It's okay. It's going to be okay. I planned this so well.
It's working out. It's like a real zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I know.
Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
We're going to be totally fine. And the zombies are going to, not notice us anymore. It's going to be... Oh, great. Oh, hey, one thing... Oh, dang it. One thing that I can point out that changed, I'm a terrible shot, that changed with update 25.2 is the way I'm holding my mare's leg right now. For a while, players were holding this. Oh, gosh, what the heck? Well, thank you for taking out that screamer. Oh, wow. Chris, you have got my back. Oh, there's a zombie on you. I got him.
Oh. I would say that's more luck than anything there, but I'll
right.
take skill.
We got to... Okay, let's stop firing our guns for just a second and try to climb over this wall. Those zombies are coming after us that way, but they might not see us if we come over here. All right, good. The door didn't make me smash through it. Okay, so one thing I want to point out, this is kind of a big area, so actually this is not the best place to show it. But one thing that did also change is that, it used to be that when you tried to explore a site inside Plague territory, it would still show the room clearing pips, the little squares that appear on individual rooms. Maybe there's a different place we can do that. I don't think so. We're surrounded by warehouses. But, so maybe we should just mention the fact that those room clearing pips don't show up anymore. We're no longer lying to you and claiming that you can clear this house when you actually can't.
Yeah, one of the reasons we wanted to do that was because, like you said, we can't, or players can't claim those sites anyways because it is currently being consumed by a plague heart. So we're trying to do a little bit better of a job on prioritizing information that makes sense for the player at any given time. So rather than showing you, hey, you have to look at this many more rooms before you can clear it, because we know you can't clear it, we're not going to show you that information. And hopefully the other information that is on the screen will be that much more easy to understand and quickly scan.
All right, well, I managed to not bring any of the explosives that I intended to bring to fight this plague heart. Let's figure out where the plague heart is. Do you see it? Oh, I see a zombie.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's this. I've got plague right now.
Yeah, same.
You've got it too. Did you at least pick up your cure?
I did, but I already used it once.
Okay, well then, I think we just need to kill this thing as fast as we possibly can. Hey, Zoe, I just triggered the gas attack for that. For that plague heart. And we're attracting a bunch of zombies that are spawning all over us. Do you want to give us a little bit of a rundown on what has changed about fighting a plague heart right now?
So just a couple minor things have changed. I don't remember if it was in 25 or slightly before it or after 25.1. But
yeah,
a coworker of ours, Hakan, realized that we were spawning the zombies around plague hearts a fair distance away from the actual building. So we went in and modified the distance away from the building that the zombies could spawn so that they'll now spawn basically right on your face.
And that seems to be what's going on right now.
Just making things harder for the people who love really complicated and difficult combat.
Yeah, so we might not actually successfully... Oh, no, we did! Oh, we did! And because we're not playing lethal combat, it did kill all the nearby plague hearts. I mean, plague zombies. I can't even talk properly because that was so harrowing. Good, I've got some explosives now, and... Oh, I've got a bunch of useful stuff here. Great. I'm dying. Do you want to head home?
Let's do it. Yeah, I have about 6 minutes left myself.
Okay, well, let's deliver ourselves a vehicle real fast. Maybe this one. Okay, on our way, though, we did just clear up that gas station that we wanted. So actually, I've got a bunch of cure. If all we manage to do is just make it to that gas station, we can claim it as an outpost, and then we can use that to cure our characters. So why don't we do that?
Having a plague heart move in must really fuck up property values.
Just a little.
This is how plague hearts go when you don't have Joe on the stream. Let's head over here. Joe actually did offer... Whoa, 3 ferals. Lovely. Joe actually did offer to back us up. He's like, no, man. I've been playing Nightmare. I've been practicing. It'll be fine. I'm okay. Everything will be great. And then you see how that just went. So...
I mean, I'd give a solid 9 out of 10 for that.
All right. So, I mean, as long as you survive, that's what counts, right? Yeah. All right. So, this place... Oh, wait a minute. Oh... You know what? I think we just highlighted a bug that's actually still ongoing in the game. There are situations where something that is on the edge. Oh, are you? No.
I'm down, but not out.
Okay.
I'm about to be.
Okay, we've got a problem. And so, yeah, so this is something I actually noticed this while I was working on my... Run for the car. Run for the car. We got to go. Oh, you're already there. Great. No. Don't grab the zombie. Get in the... Oh, you're in the car. Okay, you're driving the car. Fine. Just move. Get out.
Okay.
Try to stay in roughly the same area as me. I'll get in the car whenever you clear the zombies. Oh, no. Get out. This is exactly how we planned this. Okay, so while we're taking refuge... Here, there's a ladder to another rooftop in here. I'm just going to hide in this room. I'm going to call another car. I've got so many cars that I can call. Okay, we've got a car right outside. Oh, there's already a zombie crawling after us. Okay, while we're on this roof, real quick, there is actually a bug where sites will be confused when they're at the edge of a plague territory. They'll be confused about how many threats are chasing them. Or actually, oh, you know what? No, I made an even worse mistake. I forgot that we hadn't scouted all the plague hearts yet. Let's drop down here.
Okay.
I forgot we hadn't scouted all the plague hearts yet. So that particular site, I didn't look closely at its UI. This isn't the bug. This is just the site being covered by multiple plague hearts and me not realizing it. So let's grab a different site. Let's claim, I don't know, anything that is not surrounded by plague zombies right now. How about, nope, not this one. Let's go take that small water tower. Oh no, I've got 30 seconds left to live. I'm going to die. I'm literally going to die right now. This is going to be amazing.
It's been good knowing you, Geoffrey.
Oh my gosh. Are we going to do it? Let's see.
Did you just die?
I don't even know if we can claim this. I don't think it's a water tower, but I don't even know. I don't think it's claimable. I think we're going to die because I targeted a site that's not claimable. I'm dead.
Oh.
You know what you got to do, Chris.
I think we might be about to lose Chris's character too. I don't know how he gets in.
I put you out of your miseries before.
Oh, you did? You took me out?
I have 2 minutes.
Awesome.
And about 0 health.
Well, okay, so I had this... Oh, gosh! Oh, I spawn in near you and immediately get killed by a zombie. That'll be amazing. Okay, let's... No. Are you still alive?
Yeah, for now.
Let's claim something. We have to have freed up some site. There has to be something. You know what? I think we might just need to head home. That might be our only option. You ready to drive home?
I'll let you drive.
Okay, cool.
Because I don't... What does happen if I pass from plague in the driver's seat?
Oh, I have no idea.
You might fall out of the car.
I think you tumble out of the car. Yeah, I think that's what happens. All right, so, Chris, we are not going to be claiming an outpost right now. That was the plan, and I was going to have you... so why don't you tell the audience a little bit about what did change that we're not going to be able to show about... There's the plague heart that was screwing with us. How about you tell the audience a little bit about what changed about the outpost claiming UI?
Yeah, so there's a couple things that changed with that. We did add in a different way to display the details on any given benefit from landmarks. We're separating the abandonment and destruction of facilities or outposts on the right side of the menu rather than all the like quote normal actions that you can take from there.
Oh, that's right.
Then aesthetically, we modified it a little bit just to hopefully make it a little bit more clear. I have 35 seconds before.
I've got a cure on the ground for you.
Okay. And
so actually, let me show people that.
Yeah.
So, like for instance, the sheltered beds here that I've got in our base. It used to be that that only destroying it was off to the right, and then upgrade.
Right.
That option would be sort of mingled with all of the other actions. So now upgrade and destroy are both off to the right in this really consistent place where it's really easy to find and identify them. And you can see that here too. That's like always over on the right side. We've got the upgrade. So yes, Zoe.
I was just going to mention that Matea is also the person behind implementing those. She does a lot of good work.
That's right. Yeah, Matea actually, even though she is not on the stream with us today, we should point out that the feature that highlights the plague hearts was hers. A lot of the some of the changes to the UI and the base were hers, and tracking down that supply locker crash with Zoe was something that she did. So she was a massive contributor to a lot of what's good about this update. So yeah, so there's other stuff too, Chris. Like for instance, what are these numbers next to these outposts?
Yeah, so with upgradable outposts, we want to be able to more easily communicate like what each given upgrade does or what you can do with any of them. So we're trying to one call out what level it is currently on your base screen, and then when you're actually in the menus for claiming those or interacting with them, you should be more easily able to see what that kind of information is too.
Yeah, so like right here, you can see, when I highlight this outpost, you can see this is outpost 1, this bed's outpost. And my power outpost over here is outpost 2. And so when I go over to the base screen, you can see the beds are outpost 1 and the power is outpost 2. And normally, if we're just talking about beds and power, that wouldn't be a huge deal. But because sometimes you can have multiples of the same outpost. It could be actually the same type of outpost. It would be really difficult to identify which is which. And like if you wanted to destroy, like abandon one, or if you wanted to upgrade one and not another, it was really hard to tell them apart. So that makes a big difference.
Oh yeah, no, I completely explained that.
Oh no, that's totally fine. Yeah, so and one other thing, and I don't have any like ongoing actions going right now, but actually, I wonder, what would be the best action to perform? Maybe one of these. Maybe one of these actions. Oh yeah, like taking apart some weapon parts. So we've got this progress bar when you're in the middle of an action. We've got this progress bar that fills from left to right. And for a while, right after update 25.2, we had cooldowns for like actions that you trigger immediately that then last for a certain amount of time, ticking the same meter down. But that ended up causing a little bit of confusion, right? Chris, like, do you want to sort of tell us like what's different now in the way it works?
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to.
Okay, no, that's okay. Oh no, that's fine. It's easy to get distracted when you're playing a game together. I have that problem a lot when we're doing the stream. So basically, what happened was, a lot of players, because we got really used to this meter always being a progress meter. Turning it into a cooldown meter was confusing. People were like, wait a minute, do I have an in-progress action that is still, like people just had all these habits of reading it a certain way, and changing it midstream was not working for a lot of players. And so we basically just reverted that feature. And so now we no longer show cooldowns that way. And I think we're still thinking about other ways we might be able to show cooldowns a little bit more clearly.
Yeah, I was actually working alongside Zoe and Lucy earlier today, hopefully finalizing an approach that we're going to take with better explaining or showcasing cooldowns and when something is active versus in a cooldown state. So hopefully that'll come out sometime soon. But I think we have some good approaches or good options that we might pursue.
Yeah, so we're, like I said, we're always working on this game. People sometimes ask, are you done with updates? Are you finished, making improvements to the game? And there's just all of these low level, even small changes that we can keep making to the game. Like it's gonna be a while before we feel like we're done with this. And so we've got a long future ahead of us of continuously making, noticing small problems with the game, continuing to make small improvements. And and so I'm really happy that we've got Chris here on the team as our head UX guy, heading up a lot of those efforts. We really want this game to feel like, when you play it a year from now, we'd love for it to feel a lot slicker, a lot smoother, a lot more communicative than it ever has in the past.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the more fun things I've found about working on the game in particular is there's just so much content and so much mechanics that can be explored. And like we've seen in the last couple updates, I think with upgradable outposts and play territories and sidearm swapping now, it's just freeing up that much more content to be viable when you're trying to min-max your maps or communities and all that kind of stuff too. So very exciting.
So that was the agenda that I meant to follow during this stream. I thought that by now we would have actually claimed a new outpost and we'd be feeling very successful about our victorious battle against the Plague Hearts. It did not kill any of my characters at all. Unfortunately, that's not where we are. But there are still a few more things that we can accomplish, a few more things we can figure out. For one thing, infestations have been proliferating on my map, and I think that an infestation is a really, really good place to find a screamer. We should talk about some screamer-related stuff. So let me quickly grab myself a pistol, because I've got an ongoing bounty that has got me shooting bloaters with pistols. So I think this is some good equipment for me to take with me. I should bring a cure just in case we get sick again. So let me grab some of that. I'll just grab all the cure that I have. So, you know, if we do get killed, all the cure we have is going to be just lying out on the floor. That'll be great.
Do you have any first aid kits by any chance?
You know what? I might. Let me grab one.
Or espressos too.
I will
I'm
see what I
quite
have.
Fatigued.
Let's see. Okay, so we definitely have oh yes, shots of espresso. I got that. I'll take a couple of those. And what was the other thing you said? First aid kits?
First aid and a coffee or espresso.
Okay, yeah. Let me drop some of that for you. Ta-da!
That's almost
I can't believe this character has been through so much already this stream. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so let's get on the road. And actually, I've got one bloater that I can just kill right now. I got to switch to a pistol, though, to get credit. Bloaters. Everybody's favorite freaks. Oh, there's a feral coming after us.
Yeah.
Oh. You walked right into frame. I couldn't see the feral. All right, let's get in a new car.
Okay.
None of that old garbage car that the zombies just ripped up. All right, so we're going to head over to an infestation because we want to see some screamers because in update 25.2, Zoe actually made some changes to the way that, don't kill it yet, the way that blood screamers work. So what just happened? So normally a blood screamer, historically, it's been very likely that if a blood screamer did that scream, you would immediately land with a bloater in your lap. No matter what you were doing, even if you were just driving by, suddenly bloaters would just start appearing all around you. But that should be a little bit different now. Is that right, Zoe?
Hopefully, yes. I'm on a continuous quest to kill the dreaded road bloater. In this case, it turned out that blood screamers specifically, had a special spawn algorithm that would cause approximately 4 zombies, bloaters included, to spawn supposedly around the screamer, but it was built with a shortcut that meant that it would spawn around the player instead, which obviously has some problems if, say, you're driving far away from the screamer and you end up with bloaters spawning ahead of you. So simple fix involved, just spawn the zombies around the screamer and make sure they can find their way to the player.
Well, I appreciate Chris apparently clearing the infestation while I was busy just getting miserably sick.
Trying to, at least.
Okay, I think I've already used... Oh, no, I just interrupted my cure. That's what happened. Okay, let's get in the car. Let's get get out of here. Oh, stop hitting me, you jerk zombie. Oh, are you sick too? Oh, there's a bloater right there. Oh, I hit you with the car. That wasn't the plan.
It was a gentle tap.
Okay, I'll let you get in. Oh, dang it. Sorry, I thought you were already in. I thought you were latched on. Here we go. Okay, yes, you're in. You're in. Good. Let's get out of here. Oh, look at that. That was a bloater pod unrelated to the screamer. Oh, okay. Well, that was lovely. That was well illustrated. I'm about to die. Okay, I'm going to actually use the cure without trying to dodge a zombie. Whew. Okay, how did I ever survive Nightmare Combat on my personal stream? Like, I just got my first Nightmare Legacy, but that combat is insane. What were we even thinking?
Normally I'm on Dread too, so this is a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, this is a little more than I'm usually equipped for. All right, so we're getting a lot of comments in the chat about another bug. Actually, yeah, let me go grab a heavy weapon so we can illustrate this, because I think this is an important thing for us to talk about, because this is a bug that is ongoing in the game right now, and we're still working on getting a fix out to players. And it's easiest to illustrate with a heavy weapon. So let me go grab I'm gonna grab some more heals because I'm probably gonna need them. All right, are you all healed up? Do you want me to grab you anything else?
If you have another cure, I'll take it. I'm not infected, but I'm about to be.
Okay, yeah, I do have some extra cure, so let me drop one of these. There you go. If you want any more regular heals, I got those too. Hello,
Sure.
zombie. All right. Okay, let's let's get away from the base just a little bit. Let's take a different car again because we're just wearing all these cars down to nothing.
Actually, do you have any extra 22s?
22 bullets? Yes, I got plenty of 22 bullets. I can grab you some of that too before we go.
And that's it. I promise I won't ask for any more.
No, it's okay. Ask for anything
now.
you want. It's totally cool. I'm gonna drop you a bunch of bullets here. Friends
Thank you.
always share their bullets. Hello, zombie. Die. All right, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, come on, get in this car and we'll go.
Oh, you're
My idiot's in the way? Okay.
Yeah, he's just standing there. I'll climb over him.
All right, there we go. Okay, so let's find... Oh, wait. Well, let's kill these screamers first off because they're just a menace. And then we'll get into some combat with these zombies. All right. So folks in the chat have got a lot of questions about the melee combo bug. And let me show this to you right now. So normally, if you're pressing your attack button rhythmically with the swings, you actually might not notice this problem at all. Like if you're used to games that really reward well-timed swings, you might not see this at all. So you just saw, that was just normal melee swinging, no big deal. Let's get away from this Juggernaut. He's not going to be a good illustration of this. He's just going to be a problem. Let's go near some... Wait, that is not how you ride in a car. What are you doing, Chris? Oh, there's a bloater. Nope. That's not how you illustrate melee combat, not with a bloater. Okay, let's fight this guy. So here's the problem. I'm not actually a rhythmic button presser. I am a button masher. And if I mash a button, if I hit it really, really hard, you'll notice there's this little pause now between heavy weapon swings. It doesn't happen every single time. Let me try to hit this zombie. You see how my character does this little brief reset in between each swing, instead of flowing each swing naturally into the next swing. That is an accident. So 25.2 was kind of a special update because rather than doing our usual thing, which is just giving you a full drop of all of the stuff we've been working on all at once, we very carefully piecemeal picked out individual parts of the game to update. And that was for good reason. We have got other updates in the works that we have not announced yet that are pretty big and unfinished. And we don't want to just release unfinished stuff by accident, so we had to very carefully pick and choose what we put into update 25.2. But that caused a problem because there were a few places where we accidentally brought in a couple of unfinished things, and this was one of them. So we are actually in the process of making some improvements to the melee system, but it came with this bug. And so now a lot of players, especially playing on, difficulty levels that really challenge their skills, which is like where I'm playing right now, that little hitch that you get between the swings really screws with your weapon's ability to deal out damage before getting hit by zombies. And so there's a lot of players who are like suffering from, kind of getting into a lot of trouble in dangerous situations that they normally could handle because their melee weapon is not performing as well as they'd like it to. So we do actually have a fix for this in the office, and right now we're waiting for the right opportunity to ship a new build that includes that fix. It might be a little bit because, like I said, we've got other updates in the works that we have to worry about. So, but you see, I'm just getting in worse and worse trouble the longer we play this way. And as long as I just keep hammering this X button as hard as I can, I'm actually... Oh, crap.
Run.
Okay, got it. We're good. Unless you got hit by it.
No, I'm good.
Oh, and now here's a feral. Cool. Let's deal with that if we can. What happened?
I didn't reload, so.
Oh, got it. Okay, cool.
Just standing there reloading.
Oh, look, I'm sick again. I'm just gonna get... my goal is to get Plague more times in the same stream than we ever have.
New record.
Oh, okay, I didn't even fully... The zombies are coming too fast for me to even cure myself.
That's not good.
Okay, so now my weapon is gonna break. That's lovely. Okay, I think I've got time to cure myself, hopefully.
I'm okay.
You're okay? Okay, good.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't asking, but, Just kidding.
I knew you were worried about me.
All right, so let me see. What else do we have to talk about? Oh, yeah. I think there's one other little bit we wanted to catch. So let's kill these zombies, and then I'll explain one more thing. And I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Oh, we do have a question, actually, while we're fighting these zombies. I'll answer a question by Bo Kavarv. So Bo Kavarv says, is it supposed to be that using scent block, etc., these sort of specialized consumables that oh crap, that incur plague on a character, are they supposed to... Dang it! Okay, I'm glad he's focused on you now. Oh, no, he's not. He was asking, are they supposed to overcome the one trait that characters can have that actually is supposed to make them immune to blood plague? And honestly, we just never tested it one way or the other. Those two systems are so sort of separate from each other that no, so it wasn't intentional in the sense that we planned it out that way. It just worked the way it happened to work, and if we are to make it work differently, we're going to need to make some changes. So we've got that on a list of things that that players have said. I know that Joe has been receiving those messages from folks and funneling them to us. And so if you do, by the way, if you do have comments like that about the game, things that are why don't we get in the car while we're talking?
Okay.
If you do have comments about things like that are making the game less fun for you, please do let us know at our support site. The other, let me just click this real quick. The other host of the stream, Joe Swarner, his full-time job is keeping track of our support site and all of the messages that come in from players who are running into problems with the game. And so he has already received that message from players, and a ton more. And if you run into issues like that, one of the best things you can do is report them to support.stateofdecay.com, because that is one of the ways. Like, that's one of the main ways that we found out about the supply locker crash, was the fact that players were issuing us lots of reports in there. Even though Rollbar wasn't giving us any reports, players were giving us reports, and that made a huge difference to our ability to get on top of that. So please do issue reports like that. JJ Carroll wants to know, if you do have a character who gets blood plague a lot and then gets cured a lot from it, can they develop that trait, that sort of survived blood plague trait that makes them immune to blood plague? And the answer is no. In fact, I think that recently, I don't know if it's in a current update or if it's coming in a future update, I think I actually revised the description of that trait to stop giving the impression that anybody who gets cured of the blood plague should end up with that trait, because that's not how it works. These are special people who are immune to blood plague for mysterious reasons that don't seem to have very much to do with the normal experience of somebody getting blood plague. And so just normally getting blood plague will not give you that trait. It will never give you that trait. So don't bank on it. And don't go and get your people nearly killed just to try to give them that trait. Oh, Joe does confirm that there is a bug on that issue that Bokavar was asking about. So that's good. Whew. Okay, so one last thing that I wanted to mention about update 25.2 is the fact that we closed some exploits. So it used to be that if you had very fast fingers, and there were huge videos on YouTube about this with lots of views explaining how to do this. I've forgotten exactly how to do it because I never did it myself. But there was some trick you could pull where if you had very fast fingers and you, this is not a place to install a mod. Let's say, and you went down here and you installed one mod and did some weird stuff, and then tried to install a second mod, you could actually stack up multiple mods on the same facility. Whereas in real life facilities, in the proper game, facilities only support one mod maximum. And so players had found a way to do that, and we closed that exploit. We also closed an exploit where players could duplicate weapon mods from containers, but we missed a case. We've solved the problem for containers that you find out, like lootable containers that you find out in the world. We did not solve the problem for vehicle trunks. And so those of you who love duplicating your weapon mods, you can still run out to a vehicle trunk, open it up, and do whatever it is you do, whatever magic it is to duplicate those weapon mods. But we're aware of it, so enjoy it while it lasts. Chances are we're probably gonna fix that thing at some point. So that's it. I mean, there are a few more things that went into Update 25 that we haven't mentioned today. But, if you go to our support site, the one that I mentioned before, we post all of our patch notes there. So you can read our patch notes in detail there and catch every little detail that we might have missed on this stream. But there we go. That's that's what we've been doing. So, we've only got a few minutes left. So I do want to sort of thank each of our guests in turn. So let's start with Eric Anderson. So, Eric, thank you so much for coming on here, especially for the work that you did, sort of fixing up Plague Territory so that it works the way that our hardcore community members really wanted it to work. People who are playing in like Nightmare and Lethal Zone. I think it's a big boon to them, and so I think that they owe you a huge thanks.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, not a problem. Thanks for having me on. It was good to be back, and yeah, hope people are continue to enjoy the game.
And Chris Havranek, you also, have made a big contribution to the way this this whole system works. I mean, the Plague Territory and Outpost upgrade was mostly about user experience. It was mostly about, partly it was about the systems, but partly it was about how we communicate these new systems to players. And so, having your trained eye involved in sort of shaping a lot of the decisions we made was really helpful. And so, thanks for coming on to explain some of the stuff that went on.
Yeah, and thank you for letting me take all of your supply locker items.
No, thank you for actually staying alive out in the field while my character was getting killed, and for watching my back that whole time when I was focusing on other things.
Anytime.
Finally, Zoe, huge thanks to you and Matea, not only for all of the improvements that you made to the game, just part of the normal course of your jobs, but also for jumping onto the supply locker crash and getting it fixed as fast as you did.
Yeah, that was honestly a little bit kind of fun. And thanks to the community for the reports.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, when our crash reporting system breaks down, we rely on the community to tell us what's going on in the game. I mean, we also found out about that melee combo rhythm issue, because we were in contact with people in our community. We watched a Fall Down Go Boob stream where he was running into it while he was trying to speedrun Plague Hearts, and it suddenly was really obvious how impossible that had become because the rhythm of melee had changed. And so we've got that a fix for that bug in the works, and so watch for future updates. In the meantime, it's about time for us to get out of here. So see you later, everybody. Everybody else want to say goodbye? There are big waves. Awesome.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Till next time.
So normally we only do 2 streams each month, but this is a special month. There are 5 Mondays this month. So come back 2 weeks from now, August 30th. We're going to do a special stream on the 5th Monday. I'm going to be your host. We'll announce who the guests are closer to the time, but we really look forward to seeing you there. We've got a lot of big stuff to talk about in the future. This game is still going strong. We are still developing new content for it, and we can't wait to talk to you about all of that stuff in the future. So please subscribe to our channel, do all the stuff that you can do. We'd love to have you here in the future. And now we just got to wait for 20 seconds for the YouTube video to be done. Look at this beautiful dinosaur. He's looking at you. He can see into your soul. He knows what you did.